Day one, we have just arrived. We encountered a lot of traffic on our way, but we rocked out to a lot of good music, so we're energized and ready to get going. We are about 6 miles into our journey. We have a third of the way to go, and it's almost 6 o'clock right now, and we have
we're making amazing time.
Yeah, we're making amazing time. We have about 2 hours left until sunset, so yeah, for 3 miles, which we can do. Look at us go.
This vulture keeps circling us. I think he's hoping that we're just gonna lay down and die in this heat here, and he'll have himself a nice tasty dinner. God, this is just full of these beautiful purple flowers. Cold Spring Camp. For dinner, I'm having some black bean and lime soup, and in here is cooking some rice with beans, thinking about combining them. And Nino, what are you having?
I'm having some spicy kimchi ramen. Whoa. With tofu and vegetables and kimchi and delicious noodles.
So fancy.
I'm so excited. This will be the most delicious meal I've ever eaten. Other people.
There they are. You can see some little fires in the back.
Yeah.
They're all socializing down the road, and we've just, I don't know, we've set up our little hermit's cave over here. But we're having a good time. The freaking handle came off. Hold on. What are your reflections about this camp before we head out?
I think this was a pretty good camp. The water was provided, and I lost my contact lenses. So
yeah, contact lens.
One lens. So I'll be wearing my glasses, which is why I have to do this to shade from the sun, unfortunately. But yeah, I feel like we'll be back to this camp.
We will be back. This is one of 2 nights. We're gonna be circling back.
So,
but yeah, Nino's rocking the sweater on head look.
Have liked it. Yeah, I'm rocking it.
This is the biggest pine cone that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is huge. This is the pine cone. This is my head. The path is clearing up a little bit here. We've been bushwhacking for the last 10 minutes or so. A lot of the brush on this trail is pretty overgrown. So it's been an adventure, but we're both holding it pretty well. Just a few scratches and bruises here and there, but that's expected. It's a mark of honor. There's a black lizard on this log. I don't know if you can see him. He's very sneaky. Oh, there he goes. Just walking through this tunnel of forest, and we keep coming out these little openings, and it's just a sea of these purple flowers. We just sat down for our break on this log by the creek, and I have just found now the tiniest pine cone that I've ever seen to match the enormous one I found earlier. You've got a little friend on your back.
Oh, who's on my back?
A little inchworm.
Nice.
I'm gonna rescue him.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll get you away from this terrible woman. He's looking for somewhere to climb. Here you go. He's a determined little sucker. Just stumbled upon this tree that's totally charcoaled.
But only on the outside.
Only on the outside.
It's still going strong.
We've come across more burnt trees. Yeah, there must have been a really bad fire. All of the trees are blackened. So the burnt trees just reminded us. We were in contact with someone from the Ventana Wilderness Alliance who explained to us that actually through the exact site that had recommended the path that we were going to do, apparently when they had originally posted that path, within the first year a couple of hikers on that loop had left an unattended fire that ended up causing the most expensive wildfire in US history, and they're still recovering about 6 years later. So some of the days that they recommended in their loop were inaccessible. So we've decided to do another loop, but it's kind of crazy that it seems like,
yeah, it even seeped into here, like not maybe quite as destructively as in the original area, but yeah, you can see traces.
And you know, last night we were feeling very lazy. We had settled into our tent, and we were all warm in our sleeping bags, ready to watch some Survivor, and we had left our embers of fire out.
I was like, it's gonna be fine. Because I'm a fool.
No, I mean, honestly, it was such a painful idea to get out of our tent to go deal with the dying embers, and you can think, you know, they're just embers, nothing's gonna happen, but if a gust of wind comes and carries one away, it can potentially be really disastrous. So I'm channeling Smokey the Bear right now. But it was honestly really easy to just get a couple potfuls of water and stir the embers, and we just slept a lot more at peace, knowing that we were not going to cause potentially the biggest or the second biggest.
I'm glad about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's also amazing to see how the area has recovered from the wildfire. But yeah, just, I don't know, don't leave unattended fires. We just crawled up this hill And now the trail wants us to go all the way back down again.
We're gonna have to do that again.
Whoop whoop! They sound like they're laughing at us. What are we looking at here?
Rainbow Camp.
And we're going to Strawberry Camp. We got lost about a bajillion times. Right now we're racing the sunset to get to camp. And we're dying.
Hey guys, let's talk about our day.
Let's talk about our day. First of all, we hiked for 9 hours. We started at 10:30 and got to camp around 7:30. So we were walking about a mile an hour. And this is because we began the day with insane up and down elevation and crazy heat in very exposed areas. So we had to take a lot of breaks. We thought the worst was over and we didn't have that much elevation left. According to the GPX map we downloaded, that's when the fallen trees really began to take off. So we had to go under, over, around like a million fallen trees.
We had to crawl, like military style.
Military style. Take our packs off, slide them across an enormous tree that had a tiny gap on the bottom, slide our packs across, and then military crawl under the trees. If this couldn't be bad enough, we had to do also so many river crossings that were so incredibly confusing. At one of them, I think we lost about 20 minutes trying to find the trail because the mixture of fallen trees and the fact that the trail has just not been very well maintained or demarked, it really, really put a hurt on us. And all this time we were also having to still deal with up and down elevation just constantly.
So much up and down elevation. It's like you're like, okay, finally, we've made it up this hill. It's gonna stay constant. You get like 2 seconds of reprieve and then back up.
There was no reprieve.
There was no reprieve.
This was not the trail of reprieve. And among all of this, just more poison oak than you've seen in your entire life. Ticks crawling everywhere. It was really a journey. It felt like we were out there for a week and we could not even talk at the end. We were using our last reserves to just make the final push to camp.
We learned a lot about ourselves today.
Yeah.
Things like these, with trial after trial, when you don't give up, is when you really know you can believe in yourself.
When you dig into what you think are your last reserves, like 20 times.
Yeah.
That was today.
And if you're listening to this and you're like, heck yeah, those are exactly the trails I'm looking for. I want to get my butt kicked. I want it to be harder than I ever thought possible. Well, you're welcome. Because now you know.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, you need help. Because that's how I feel.
You do need help, but also you're welcome.
We both had a pretty rough night. I was experiencing quite a bit of nausea, and Nino here basically did not sleep at all.
I did not sleep at all.
So we're both feeling a little disheveled still this morning. Originally our plan was to reach Cold Spring Camp where we camped the first night and camp there again. Right now we're thinking we might just try to push back to the car and drive home tonight. It's been an emotional journey.
It's been an emotional
We've both been through a lot before we got on trail, so I think that we're really enjoying this experience, but I think that we're both feeling like we're ready to wrap it up tonight if we can. Check out this 360 view. This is us walking downhill.
So happy.
Another fun thing about this trail is, as they say in the community, it's full of puds. Just up and down, up and down. It is ruthless. We're so close to the top of this ridge. It looks like we might have to go down again though. We fought so hard to get up here, and now the trail's gonna take us back down. And you can just see how exposed it is. I mean, there's just tiny shrubs, no real shade. Yeah, I don't know if you can see how red my face is right now. I look like a tomato. Oh, a little fly just came by to say hello. A little flying ant. There's a bearded lizard underneath there. He's super spiky. He's got a short tail. He's like half in the sun, half in the shade. He's totally giving me the eyeball right now. First of all, we are finally walking in a little bit of tunnel of shade, as you can see. And second of all, we just crossed 2 small logs like it was nothing. We're slowly becoming experts at getting over fallen trees and finding trails. I think this is one of the senses you develop that kind of distinguishes a beginner hiker from a more intermediate or experienced hiker, is just having this sense for finding the lost trail when it seems like no direction is right. Alright, we must be getting close to the creek because we just went from desert land to marshland, so we may just be nearing water. Oh my god, another ginormous pine cone. This one's bigger than my foot.
Alright, we took a little break to outfit me with this t-shirt.
We're in the shade, finally.
We're in the shade.
I thought we were going to be walking in the forest the whole time. It has been
Pretty
maybe
exposed.
half and half. I would say more like...
The first day was 100% in the sun.
The first day was 100% in the sun, the second day was half and half.
Half and half.
And today has just been fully exposed.
Fully exposed.
Ventana Wilderness really lives up to its name. It truly is a window into the wilderness.
Yeah.
And like, you are standing on the outside. I would say this trail is about as rugged as a trail can get while still being doable. The Ventana Wilderness is definitely a beast to be taken seriously, though.
And the journey continues.
We just reached a peak. We're finally up in the mountains again, around near the top, and hoping to reach the actual top soon. North Ridge Road herself, in all her glory. Oh my god. What a freaking trek. We are at Marble Peak, elevation 4,031 feet. We just climbed like a ton of that today.
We started at 1,800.
1,800 we started.
So you do the math.
It has been quite a day.
No,
and now
2,800, sorry.
Now all we have to do is walk 15 miles. Back to the car.
Oh my god.
Easy. Easy. We just came across this huge snake. She is taking up about half the trail, I would say. She's really long. I think we can go around her, yeah. Okay, so Nino has spotted another snake. This one is indubitably a rattlesnake. It's huge. So I don't know.
What do we do?
We're gonna figure it out. Alright, we just got past the rattlesnake. We were rolling rocks, like bowling them basically, to try to get them close enough that it would scare him away. But that did not seem to be working. It didn't even faze him. Finally, we were able to like touch him enough times with enough things like within close proximity that I guess he felt that there was a real threat. It took about 10 minutes maybe minimum. He did not want to move. I don't know. I don't know how we did it. This is the longest lizard either one of us has ever seen in our entire life. We thought it was a snake. It's so long. Its tail stretches out more than the length of its body. we're just taking a moment to appreciate our trash woman on this trip. She has dutifully carried all of our trash out, making sure that we leave no trace.
That's right.
You're literally surrounded by flies right now. You are really embodying the role of...
This trash went with us underneath all of those like fallen trees.
Yes, this is actually our second trash bag. The first one is within that...
ripped to shreds.
This was my food bag that, yeah, the first one was ripped to shreds. Nino had secured it with one of her scrunchies to close some of the bigger gaps. But it was, it was too much. And yeah, I have my little mac and cheese cooking here. So I'm gonna just put that in the bowl and hit the road in a few minutes.
Hello.
Hello.
So it's 7 p.m. right now. We've literally been hiking for 9 hours.
We've been hiking for
all
9
day,
hours.
but we're finally on the last stretch of our journey.
The last leg.
We've been going at a pretty fast pace.
We've actually been picking up our pace throughout the day,
yeah.
which is crazy. I mean, how did those 9 hours pass us by?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like 9 hours, but at the same time, we were saying that it feels like, for me, it's my ankles and my calves. For Nino, it's her quads. It feels like jello, and the only thing attaching it to our body is the bone. Like, it's just jiggling around. It's completely useless by this point. We're both just sunburned and crazed. And these are one of the perks of rewalking. The same trail you walked in the opposite direction. You get to see things you didn't see on your way up. We totally missed this when we were coming from the backside. Yeah. Looks totally like a normal tree from here.
We have made it. We have made it to the car.
We made
I'm
it.
so happy. We're about to sit down. Woo!